All right, all right. I know I'm so excited to finally be getting to these videos. You wouldn't believe what I've been through the last 2 weeks. But anyway, let's focus on business. So I decided to break these videos down into 2 parts. This is the breakdown portion. And the first thing you would do is shampoo the hair, and section into 4 sections. So what you saw me doing when I was detangling the hair, I had shampooed the hair first, but here's the thing. When you shampoo the hair, you want to do it gently. You're not scrubbing the heck out of someone's scalp. You're really doing gentle manipulations, just removing the products out of the hair, detangle, section into 4, and now I'm going to apply protective cream. So with this portion of the soft curl perm, really, without confusing you, you're doing a Thio Relaxer, because remember, this hair is overly curly. I have to say I was a little disappointed because this mannequin was an overly curly haired mannequin, and her hair wasn't an afro, but when I shampooed it, it kind of smoothed out the overly curliness. But it's fine because you can see the difference at the end. So I applied protective cream around the entire hairline, and now I'm going to start in the back. What I'm doing is taking her clip out, kind of smoothing that hair down. I'm going to put my gloves on before I get started with applying any chemical. And the reason why we're going to start in the back, this is an important point before I forget. You always start in the back when you're relaxing the hair, because whether it's with sodium hydroxide or Thio, because that's where hair is the most resistant or most curly. So really, I'm starting in the crown area because I just find it easier to lay the subsections out of your way. And that's my soft curl breakdown. But you could also start in the nape area. It's just the whole work smarter, not harder type thing. That's my temp brush, and I have a temp bowl. And I know in the beginning you guys saw my table set up. I'm using these wooden sticks to go into my jar and remove the product into my bowl. And I was telling you, you never want to just dig in the jar with your hands. Even though you have gloves on, it's just professionalism. So I applied a little in my temp bowl, and then I'm going to get started with my application. Just showing you guys here the texture of the breakdown cream. And it's funny, my whole room smelled like perm, but I love it. I missed it. So now remember, this is my way on how I've taught it all these years. It is not the only way, because we're going to be applying it to the scalp hair first anyway. I like to outline the section that I'm going to be starting in. So I'm just going to apply it all the way around the perimeter. Now, is this a way that you have to do it? No, it is not. Does it make it a little easier? Yes, it does. So I like to outline the perimeter first, and then I'm going to go through and apply it to what we would call zones 1 and 2. So zones 1 and 2, if you recall in some of my color videos, I described what the zones are. Zones 1 and 2 would be the scalp hair, and you would be applying it all the way down the hair strand, leaving that last inch of hair out, which is considered your porous ends, and that would be called zone 3. So I'm applying the chemical. Also, while I have the chance, I want to tell you guys, when you're subsectioning, when you're doing color and perms such as this, you want to have your subpartings between 1/4 of an inch, no thicker than 1/2 an inch. So my subsections are not very thick, but I also don't need them to be too thin. So between 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch in thickness. And as you can see there, my ends are uncovered. So I'm just laying those subsections out of my way. Using my tint brush, I don't need to use the comb. I can lay my comb down once I've sectioned the hair, and now my tint brush is going to be used to subsection the hair. So in this case, we're going to be working clockwise. I'm right-handed, so I started in the back right. If you're left-handed, you could start in the back left and work counterclockwise. The whole idea is to make sure that those back sections are done first. Why? Because remember, it's the most curly in the back and most resistant, so that means it needs more time to process. So I'm going to be working in my back right section, then my back left, and then go to the front left and the front right, and then come back to my back right section. So clockwise. Seemed like I was having a little tough time there. But I'm showing you I'm leaving those ends out. Subpartings, especially while you're in school and you're training for state board, you really want them to be neat. You want to neatly lay them over each other, so that way when you pull them back down, you will be able to see the lines where your subsections were. You will not smash the chemical on the head, especially when you are training and practicing for your state board licensing exam. So in my videos, that's really what I'm trying to train you for, is prepping you for your test. And anybody who's a beginner, who's never done this before, and you're in school and you want to refresh on how to do it, or, you know, that's what these videos are for. So you see I'm neatly bringing my subsections back down. I'm not smashing it on the head. All done there. Don't smash on the head is what I'm trying to tell you. Now I've done all 4 sections and I'm showing you I've left the ends out. So now I'm going to go back and I would be doing a strand test. Now the strand test is not like with hair color. You're not going to grab a towel and a spray bottle and spray it off. You're going to take your fingers and pull down that hair strand, putting tension on the hair. Now, if the hair waved up in any way, then it's not ready. But if it stays smooth when you pull it, then it's ready. So in the procedure, which I have always taught from State Board, you would do frequent strand tests if necessary. In other words, if I pulled on that hair and it was still curly, I would wait a few more minutes, apply it to the ends while I'm waiting, go back and check again. But it's ready. So I'm applying it to the ends. Now what I'm showing you here is if the hair is fine, you may not have to do all these subsections. The subsections is more so if you're prepping for State Board. But if the hair is finer, you can brush through all the ends at once. Now I'm going to use the wide side of my comb and I'm going to comb through first with the wide side. And then if necessary, if the hair still needs, this part is what's called your smoothing. If it still needs smoothing, because thio is a mild chemical and you need the tension of this comb to kind of pull that hair down straight. And if you look at me, I'm doing it very gently. I'm not aggressively raking the scalp with the teeth of the comb. But I'm using the wide side first, not first. And if you notice the hair is still waving up as you're pulling down with the comb, Then you can flip it around to the fine side of your comb of your choice. And then you can comb through with the finer side of the comb. And that is all part of your smoothing. Now, when you see me do my virgin relaxer with sodium hydroxide, you're going to see the difference. Now, this is the end result. So I rinsed all the breakdown cream out with warm water. I did not condition it because remember, I would be going to my second portion. So stay tuned for part 2. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Get in here, you wild buck.